Have you ever wondered how Python programming works? How this simple but powerful language manages to create complex applications? Well, today is the day for unraveling this mystery and diving into the world of Python variables and functions. Python, a high-level programming language, is known for its simplicity and readability. It's like the English language of the coding world, where you don't have to wrestle with complex syntax or puzzling codes. Instead, it's all about clear, simple, and direct commands. Imagine Python as a giant puzzle where each piece is a line of code. When these pieces fit together correctly, they create a complete picture, a running application or a working software. But what makes up these lines of code? This is where variables and functions come into play. Consider a variable as a container. This container can hold different types of data, like numbers, text, or even a list of items. When you create a variable in Python, you're essentially telling the computer, hey, I need a box where I can store this particular piece of data. For instance, if you need to store the number 5, you might create a variable named number and assign it the value of 5. In Python, this would look something like this: number equal, sign 5. Now, every time you refer to number in your code, Python knows you're talking about the number 5. Now, let's talk about functions. A function in Python is a block of code that only runs when it's called. Think of it as a machine. You feed it some inputs, it processes them, and then it gives you an output. A function can take parameters, which are the inputs, and return a result, the output. For example, imagine a function that adds two numbers. You give it the numbers 2 and 3 as parameters, it adds them together, and voila, it returns the result 5. In Python, you would define this function as follows: defadd underscore numbers, number 1, number 2, return number 1 plus number 2 here. Add underscore numbers is the name of the function. Number 1 and number 2 are the parameters, and return number 1 plus number 2 is the operation the function performs. So, to wrap it all up, Python is a straightforward, high-level programming language that uses variables to store data and functions to perform operations. By understanding these fundamental concepts, you are well on your way to becoming a Python programmer. Remember, variables are like containers for data, and functions are like machines that take inputs, perform an operation, and give you an output. By understanding and mastering these concepts, you're well on your way to creating complex applications and maybe even changing the world with your code. So keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep coding.